really sorry about this, but I had Sabu off the leash and wanted to play. Unfortunately, this man ran away.
I got a fear of dogs. I'm dogophobic.
Do you want a hand getting out of there, sir?
Yeah,
Here we go.
come on, old timer.
Yes, young timer.
Right.
Jonesy,
Why, Meg?
sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Right, you owe me. Nobody home.
This one of yours, Grace?
No, it isn't.
How long have you been here, sir? Did you see anyone?
Oh, I never took it. I've got a horror of them things.
Well, you're bodyophobic as well, are you, mate?
Waste of a good grave, if you ask me.
Right. Yeah. Hi. Talking again? Happy birthday, red roses?
Oh, they're from you, were they? The card must have gone missing. Anyway, while we're on that subject, we've got a body missing from a grave.
Oh, well, still anything not nailed down today, eh?
Yeah, we've got a potential witness. So.
Horry. Call me Horry.
Horry.
I was looking for my wife. On account of the neighbours reckon she was dead. Think that's funny, dear son?
No, sir.
Could do with a few more spoons of sugar.
And liberate something from the morning teas for him, will you?
Does Horry have an address in town?
Mr. Tarrant doesn't have an address anywhere, so he's detective.
Well, that's as may be, but my wife, Elaine's address, that was 27 Cobden Street.
Right. And now you think she's in the cemetery?
Down from Sydney, dropped in this morning to visit her and our little girl, and there were strangers living there. They said that she'd passed on a few years back.
We could check with a cemetery trust from Elaine Tarrant.
Well, it could be Elaine something else. She could have changed her name over the years, as they do. But an Elaine born in 1953. A woman of terrible virtue she was.
Right, back to the cemetery. Did you see anything unusual there this morning, Horry?
The sandbags in the coffin. That's a bloody awful thing, that. You pay for your plot and then you don't get the use of it.
There you go, mate.
It had to be the boss's custard slice, did it?
Well, I thought he needed some calcium.
Wouldn't have a few more of those, would you?
Did you see anything else unusual?
On account of it's very hard to think on an empty stomach.
My vanilla slice.
Well, we thought we'd get more out of him if we fed him.
Oh, so my morning tea was graciously volunteered. Thank you very much.
Well, we canvassed the nearby houses
Don't
and he was
defend her. So does this missing body have a name yet?
Yeah, the nameplate on the coffin reads Jeremy Robert Gribble.
Uh-huh.
The double fatal in St David's. His motorcycle collided.
Yes, and the driver of the Volvo died of a heart attack. Sad business. Both decent families.
So there wouldn't be any obvious reason for Jeremy's body to go missing.
He left here when he was about 20. He was the wild one of the family. Trouble going somewhere to happen, you know.
Jeremy Robert Gribble, alias Horse.
A horse?
You have to ask.
What do you have?
That's not.
It's not. Affray, assaults, theft of motor vehicle, traffic amphetamines, and there's the name of his club.
Horry, in your stroll around the cemetery, would you happen to have seen men in leather jackets and motorcycles?
Oh, that was lovely. Another of the same with a fried slice and a mug of tea and they top it off.
Petty cash onto that, Pete?
Horry?
Well, now you come to mention it, it was these two blokes with a Harley and sidecar parked near the grave.
Well, why didn't you mention this before?
Oh, my blood sugar was down to fix the memory. Now that I've helped you, one hand washes another.
Not lately, Horry.
No need to be personal. I want help with Elaine. She might be dead, but my daughter would still be alive. I have to find her.
You can wipe that smile off your face for a start.
All right, Dave, why don't you lob here for a second while we have a little word with Sprocket, eh?
And when you sign me out and ask me if I'm satisfied with my treatment here today, the answer's going to be no.
Have you been in one of these places before, have you, sir? I thought sergeants were supposed to cop that kind of stuff.
Must be your lucky day.
So you local boys, are you? We're just passing through.
When we spoke to you at the Steam Packet Hotel, you indicated that you were a friend of the late Jeremy Robert Gribble. Do you agree with that?
Made of horses, yeah.
And you own a Harley and a sidecar?
That's one of my bikes, yeah.
Would it also surprise you that a similar vehicle was seen at the Mount Thomas Cemetery this morning?
No.
What was it doing there?
Digging up horse so we could give him a proper funeral. No law against that, is there?
Well, yes, sir. Actually, there is.
Why? It's a multicultural society, am I right? So, you being a wog, or whatever, you've got your customs, and me being a member of a motorcycle club have mine.
Care to expand on that, sir?
Well, when we first heard Horse Border, we rang his dad and said he'd given him a decent funeral. Well, that didn't sit right from the start.
Why?
Because dying's an indecent act. And dying because you had a head-on with the family sedan, well, that's double indecent. He was buried without his mates there, buried without his colours on. So, me and Dave thought we'd dig him up and do it properly.
And where did you put Horse's body?
Nowhere. We get down as far as a coffin, open her up, and all there is bags of dirt.
Can I help you?
G'day. We're here to see Mr. Fredericks.
Which one? I'm Clayton, as in the nephew. Good to meet you, Joanna.
Our Constable Parish and I are here to see Chaz Fredericks, as in the uncle.
Who's your friend?
My colleague is Senior Detective Hasham.
Detective? Cool. Right this way, Joanna.
Cradle snatcher. So, Clayton, we haven't met before, have we?
I've only been here a month. I came up from Melbourne to help Uncle Chaz.
So, you'd be his brother's son?
Sisters, actually. I changed my name for professional reasons. Excuse me a second, I'll just... Chaz, police here to see you.
Mr. Fredericks.
Is there some problem?
Sir, it appears that you've buried some sandbags. Mr. Jeremy Gribble's grave's been dug up and there was no body in the coffin.
That's appalling. Mr. Gribble was certainly in the casket when he left here.
Was the coffin open at the service?
The family requested a closed casket.
So there was definitely a body in the coffin?
A casket, an Excelsior. He was in it when he left here on his last journey and now... missing. This has never happened to us before in a century of service to the Mount Thomas community.
Well, we don't really know that, do we? It's not often people drop by and dig them up. The cemetery could be full of coffins with sandbags in them.
I'd really rather you didn't repeat that outside these walls, Constable. In this business, reputation is everything.
Well, I meet him at Rotary. He's a pretty dry sort of a stick, not a lot to say for himself. Very conservative sort of bloke, but then... I mean, undertaking is a very conservative profession, isn't it?
Oh, so you wouldn't put him down as a body snatcher?
Chaz, do me a favour, straight as a die. Not the sort of man who'd knock off another bloke's vanilla slice, for instance.
Why would anyone want to steal a body anyway?
Well, he was a biker. Maybe someone wanted the tattoos.
Why?
Well, in Japan, there's a whole museum of them. Yakuza tats, a high-grade word.
Gross, Jones.
Well, setting aside that the Yakuza have come to town to steal tats from a dead biker, anybody else?
A medical specimen?
Maybe Dr. Josh stole them?
They're certainly good looking enough to be a vampire.
Parish, what are you doing?
You're going through that 83s looking for Horry's ex-wife.
Oh, you're a lost to social work, mate. And this nephew of Chaz's?
Well, it's a family business. And Chaz has never married, despite the best attempts of all the matchmakers in town, so I suppose his nephew makes sense.
Gotcha. Elaine Sims, 27 Cobden Street. Died of an aneurysm. The information was given by a daughter. Horry's little girl, all grown up.
So the old bloke's got a daughter in town?
Yeah, granddaughter too.
And by that look on your face, we know them?
Yeah, you could say that.
Don't stop him, we're enjoying ourselves.
No, enjoying all that around here, right?
Oh, you.
What can I do for you, girlie? You come to tell me my luck's changed?
The bad news is your wife has died 4 years ago from an aneurysm.
Well, if it's the bad news, what's the good news?
Well, your daughter still lives here.
She does?
And what's more, you've got a little granddaughter.
I do?
Yeah, I've met her. She's a lovely little girl. So I'll take you to meet them both if you want.
Oh, no, spruce up first.
Give. Give.
Yeah. His daughter's Gloria Hughes and his granddaughter's little Bambi.
Are you going to tell him what she does for a living?
Well, she works at the post office, yeah.
And about the night job?
Well, if she wants to tell him, it's up to her.
If it's the parking ticket, I already paid it.
Yeah. Not the parking ticket.
Bambi, into the car. Buckle up, lovey.
There's someone here I think Bambi will want to meet. Gloria Hughes meets Horry Tarrant.
Good day, love. It's me, your dad.
Why don't you take this scum and put it back in its pond?
No, he really is your father.
Tell someone who cares. Excuse me, got to get to work, and I have to get Bambi to the sitter first.
Wait.
It can't wait. There's a mob of guys at a beer and prawn night waiting to see me take my clothes off. Didn't Constable Parish tell you what I do for extra income?
No, she didn't, but...
And if you don't like it, you could always pay me the child support you never paid Mum all those years. Lump sum, cash or bank cheque. I don't mind which.
No, I don't care what it is you do, love. I just want to hold my little girl in my arms again.
I'm going to throw up. You're sick. You know that? Messing with people's lives, it's a sickness.
I just want to hug me granddaughter.
You touch my little girl, and I'll hit you with an intervention order so fast your head'll spin.
Look, at least, let me give you this. Belong to me granddad.
Stick it where the sun don't shine, Daddy. Thanks for nothing, Constable Do-Right.
Sorry. So I've got him booked on the early bus back to Sydney.
And you're seriously suggesting that I just give him a room for the night?
Well, I'll contribute. Give me a corporate rate, I'll pay the lot.
Look, the house isn't full. He can have a room. You pay for any breakage or theft, OK?
Thank you, Chrissy.
I think I'm the soft touch.
I'll tell him.
Same again, thanks, Chris.
The others?
No, dragging their heels as usual. You know the story. I'll have one more while I wait. Hey, Josh, I'm in the chair, mate. What's your poison?
Oh, nothing for me, thanks, Ben. I'm off to St David's.
Yeah, the new French film starts tonight.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
I got really angry with my parents, but you get over it. Gloria will get over it, you'll see. One day you'll be sitting down together wondering what all the fuss was about.
Do you reckon?
I know it. Got a good instinct for these things.
I took him up an early morning cup of tea to make sure he got on that bus to Sydney, and,
We should call a doctor, Ben.
Well, I'd say just lay down for a bit of rest and, slipped away.
Oh?
Probably heart.
So sad. All birthday cards addressed to Gloria. And sent back to him care of the Sydney GPO. Hey, does this help?
Yeah, heart condition. Look, I'll give the prescribing doctor a call, but this pretty much nails it for us. Do you mind if I call from the station?
But be our guest. Joe, would you mind staying with Horry for a while till the undertaker arrives?
Yeah, Horry and I'll have a little chat.
Dr. Adrian Chang, please.
Horace Robertson Tarrant.
Dr. Chang.
Names parents sticky with, eh?
Sir Horace Robertson. He was a World War II general. They called him Red Robbie. His dad probably served under him.
I'm 54. Look, 10, 15 years older. Priors in New South, drunk and disorderly, indecent exposure.
Come on, read getting caught short.
Break and enter, no outstanding warrants, nothing.
Yeah, OK, thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Horry Tarrant was a heart attack waiting to happen. He'd been living rough for 20 years, at least. Almost died last year of pneumonia. So I think you can rule out suspicious circumstances.
So how was it?
How was what?
The French film.
Actually, I couldn't tell you. I fell asleep.
That good, huh? Hope Josh didn't notice. All right, so what's going on between you and Josh?
I told you he's a friend.
A friend of a friend.
That's right. Nothing serious.
Oh, Miss Fredericks. Call me daydreaming.
They do give you to think.
He went so quietly.
In the midst of life. I imagine I'm looking at a pauper's funeral.
But he has a daughter living here.
Oh.
He hadn't seen her for many years. He'd come to try and be reconciled.
And he succeeded? A happy ending, I trust?
Afraid not.
Oh. But blood is thicker than water at the end of the day.
Yeah, I hope so.
Perhaps you can let the daughter know where her loved one is and we can discuss arrangements.
What now?
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Your father passed away in the night. I'm sure this has come as a bit of a shock. We have his effects at the station, and Chas Fredericks is handling the arrangements, if that's okay with you.
I don't care who's handling the arrangements, because it's nothing to do with me.
Was your father?
No, he wasn't. He might have got my mother pregnant with me, but he shot through before I was a year old, and yesterday was the first time I can remember seeing him. So, you can call him my father all you like, but I don't.
Sorry you say it like that. He sent you a lot of cards over the years. Your mother returned them unopened if you'd like to pick them up.
No. And I'm not paying for his funeral either, if that's what you and Chas Fredericks dreamed up between you.
That will mean a pauper's funeral.
Take him to the tip if you like. I'm not taking money from my little girl's upbringing to bury some old man I never met.
Gloria Hughes. She won't bury her own father.
It's not compulsory.
You'd bury your father, wouldn't you? Whatever he'd done.
I'd have to find him first.
Well, she says she doesn't want to take money away from Bambi's upbringing to bury someone she's never met.
Well, she does earn her money the hard way.
Boss?
I'm not buying into this.
Joe, you don't know all the facts of the case.
I don't care. I just know he's going to end up in some mass grave in a back paddock if I don't do something.
He's dead. I don't think it'll worry him.
Hey, if you're really concerned, get on to bereavement assistance. Maybe they could help.
Well, I'll ring them, but I warn you, if they don't come through,
Stay right where
I'll
you
be
are.
passing this around.
Potholer exploring old mine shafts. He's found a dead body in one.
Does that look like a biker called Horse to you?
They might have shaved him for the funeral, put him in a suit.
Might have.
I mean, how many bodies can you lose in 1 week?
Well, let's not put the family through it. We're running past Sprocket and Dave. Do you recognise this man?
No. Shame to waste it.
So, it's not Jeremy Gribble?
Never seen him before in my life.
I have. His name's Albert Davis. He was driving the car which collided with Mr. Gribble's motorcycle. Mr. Gribble was DOA, and Mr. Davis suffered a massive coronary and died shortly after admission.
Right. And the funeral arrangements were handled by?
A local guy. Very nice.
Bert Davis in a mine shaft. This is a nightmare.
Any theories how this might have happened?
None.
Chaz Fredericks is now in shock. See, he handled both funerals.
Well, there's obviously been some sort of mix-up. Young Gribble's been buried in Bert Davis's grave and...
Bert Davis's body wandered away and fell down a mine shaft.
Very funny.
See, Constable Parrish has this theory about zombies and Night of the Living Dead.
Ah.
And how are you with the shovel? He's very good.
Detectives don't sweat, boss.
No. Well, you're going to have to get an exhumation order on Bert Davis's grave, see if young Gribble's been interred there by mistake.
Oh, well, wait until the coroner hears that the 83s are playing musical coffins.
Please?
You're losing your sense of humour.
I don't really feel like joking, not when Horry's lying there with no guarantee he'll get a decent funeral and a daughter who hates him so much she won't even accept the gold watch that... Hang on, the gold watch. Yeah, it's not there. But it had to be.
I'm sorry, Joe. It wasn't on him when he arrived here.
Well, he had it yesterday. I saw it, a family heirloom. He was wanting to give it to his granddaughter.
You would have, gone through his pockets in the hotel room.
That's routine, yeah.
Well, there's your answer, then. It got lost somewhere between yesterday and when you found him. Poor guy.
Well, I don't know what to say, unless you'd like to go through his pockets again.
Well, I found a hole in one of the jacket pockets. The watch must have slipped through into the lining.
And then one of the Fredericks found it.
No, hang on.
Well, he had it yesterday. I saw it.
But didn't you and PJ bag all his possessions this morning?
Yeah, but if it had slipped through into the lining, we would have missed it. I mean, you know how easy it is.
No, sorry, I don't.
What, you've never missed anything on a search?
Not to my knowledge,
Look,
no.
the bottom line is we don't have enough evidence for a warrant to search the funeral home.
And detached residence.
Don't push it, Parrish. You said yourself that Ms. Hughes didn't want the watch.
Yeah, but Bambi might like it.
An exhumation order for Bert Davis.
Can't begin to explain it.
Yeah, but you see our problem, Chaz, I mean, we've now got 2 empty graves, one body missing and the other one down a mine shaft.
Someone must have broken in, trying to ruin our reputation. Well, that new fly-by-night operation on St David's.
Have you had any threats at all, Chaz?
No. Pranksters. Young people with a warped sense of humour.
Why young?
You know what I mean.
No.
Have we finished?
For the moment.
He's up to something.
What? Look, I would be amazed if Chaz cheated at bingo, let alone...
You can't cheat at bingo, can you?
Yeah, of course. There's always a way.
Well, can you extract anything valuable from a dead body?
What are you talking about?
Organs, corneas?
Well, they've got to be fresh, mate.
Stem cells? I don't know.
Joe, we found Bert in a mine shaft, not in Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory.
Well, then there's still a missing watch.
Forget the watch. Maybe he lost it, maybe he sold it.
Yeah, maybe Gloria had a change of heart, went back there last night and agreed to accept it.
I met him here with you. I told him where to stick the watch, and I never saw him again.
I thought you might have gone to the hotel to...
What, for a tearful father and daughter reconciliation? You ought to stop reading true romance. Oi, if you find the watch, I'll have it.
What's changed?
What's changed is he's dead, and he can't use it to make me feel obligated.
Why are you so hard on him?
Because he was hard on us. Never gave my mum a brass razoo. She worked 2 jobs putting me through school.
He lived on the streets for the last 20 years.
His choice. I worked 2 jobs to give Bambi everything I can, and he thought he could just swan back into our lives as if none of it had ever happened.
Sooner or later, Miss Hughes, you've got to accept that your parents are only human.
Why?
Look, my parents broke up, and I know it's a different
And this happened
situation,
when?
but this year.
Big deal. If you find the watch, drop it in. I'll put it away for when Bambi grows up.
You wanted to know him when he was alive. Now he's dead, she wants his watch.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Didn't give us a brass razoo while he was alive.
Well, did he?
Well,
Okay, thanks,
probably
mate.
not.
Fair enough, then.
SES have been checking a few of those other mine shafts near where Bert Davis was found.
Yeah, and?
Found a male, 30s, long ponytail, tats. He's been there about a week by the smell of him.
Parrish, get your lid back on.
The old horse isn't looking the best, is he?
So, is this Jeremy Gribble?
I'd think so, yeah.
Well, I need a bit more than I think so. Is it him or not?
Well, has he got a big rear and Mustang on his back?
Yep. Single needle. It's expensive.
And on the left cheek of his arse, has he got a screaming skull and a Viking helmet?
Yeah, and there's an inscription around it.
Yeah, it's the sweetest girl I ever kissed as another man's wife. Me mother.
That's the one. That's a classic.
Now the clincher. Down here, the zipper. He had a great sense of humour, did old horse. I was there when he got it. Nearly pissed myself.
So, is it him or not?
Oh, yeah, it's horse all right. So can we take him now?
No.
Oh, we came all the way from Melbourne to get him.
I don't care. It's up to the family.
Oh, he wasn't a citizen, you know what I mean? He was a free spirit and he'd want his mates to send him out with respect.
It doesn't matter, Sprocket. It's up to the family.
Oh, so what, you're going to give him back to that mob that lost him the first time?
Well, firstly, we don't know it was them that lost him, and secondly, as far as burial goes, they're the only game in town. Same again, thanks.
Really? Can't keep up with you lot tonight. Ben's already ordered twice.
No. Let me pay for this.
Really? Oh, I've lost track. Thanks.
Well, Josh and I, we both have to eat. So,
Well, why not eat together?
yeah, right.
Yeah, grab a table.
Thanks for that.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Cheers.
Oh, sheltered life, I
Oh,
guess.
Frederick's funeral parlour's been broken into.
People must be dying to get in there.
Break in?
Robbery. 2 blokes came in, they hit Uncle Chaz, took a body.
And the name of the body is?
Jeremy Gribble. We're just picking him up from the hospital and he was parking the
It's
pickup
okay,
van.
we'll get the deets later. We know who it is. Thanks.
And Thomas 509 to VKC. Suspects have left their hotel. We're checking the highway.
Okay, Cinnamon Thomas 509. Do you require any assistance at this stage?
Negative, VKC.
I believe they went back to the pub and paid their bill.
Count your blessings. Means we're only a couple of minutes behind it.
Thomas 509 to VKC. We've located our suspects on the highway.
G'day, fellas. Jeez, the horse looks well. Must be the country air.
It goes like this, Sprocket. We've got you on stealing horse's body. It was in your sidecar. There's 2 police witnesses. And what do you want?
I'm not buying the word stealing. We didn't steal horse's body. We repossessed it as it was our right on account of it being the property of the clubs.
Yeah, I doubt if a court will agree.
Now, the assault on Chaz Fredericks.
Who?
The Undertaker. The bloke you assaulted while stealing horse's body.
Nah, there was no one there. We went in, found horse, took me away. End of story.
Sprocket, someone assaulted Chaz Fredericks and his nephew says it was the man who took Horse's body.
No way. The place was empty.
Okay, so the first time that you stole your friend Horse's body, well, why did you put him down a mine shaft?
We repossessed him this one time only. One. Count it. And that was this Arvo. When was he supposed to be put in this mine shaft or whatever?
Before his funeral, last Wednesday.
Oh, well, there you go, couldn't I? Because me and Dave and the rest of the club were flat out getting ready for the Care Bear delivery run.
Care Bear?
The Care Bear story checks out. Which means we still don't know who stole Horse the first time. As for Bert Davis, it's anyone's guess. Guys, Horry's funeral, 1100 hours, Grace officiating. I'm looking for volunteers to attend. You don't all speak at once.
Well, perhaps we should have a police presence there, see who else turns up.
Yeah, why not? We might catch us a grave robber. Count me in.
Yeah, I'll be there if I can make it.
All right, well, that makes 3. Any other takers?
Yeah, I'm up for it if I can be spared. I had a beer with him the other night. He's a funny old bugger.
Yeah, count me in.
I'll stay and keep the station open.
All right. I wouldn't mind getting these down to the funeral home.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
Behaviour that is
What are you
required.
going to do?
You can't continue to overstep.
I just bought this for Horry Terrence.
This is a mortuary. You shouldn't be in here.
Sorry,
We'll be bringing Mr. Tarrant out directly if you'd just like to take a seat in the chapel.
Right. But I warn you, I want to be saying that he's in his coffin.
Casket, certainly.
Could I have a moment alone? Please, I'm the closest thing he had to a friend in this town.
Of course.
So sorry, mate. I really am sorry. You never did get to sit down with your daughter and wonder what all the fuss was about, did you? Mount Thomas 208 to VKC. Can I have Mount Thomas 900 on 2 local?
What's up? Where are you?
Well, just tell her we're on our way.
Did you get that?
Is that PJ? Stick him on.
Touch his hand. What temperature do they normally keep bodies at?
Close to 0. But she's not.
I took a sniff. It's mostly air freshener.
Excuse me, the minister will be here soon and we'd like to get this casket closed.
Oh, we actually haven't quite finished here, Chaz. We?
Excuse me. You're not allowed in there. Look, I really must protest.
Jeremy Gribble.
Bert Davis.
Where'd you put Walt Disney?
We've been experiencing some problems with our refrigeration system, so we bought the refrigerators.
Well, how long have you been experiencing these problems?
Only recently.
Recently?
Quite recently.
About a week ago?
No.
About the time the bodies of Jeremy Gribble and Bert Davis were dumped in Mineshaft?
No.
Who really hit you, Mr. Fredericks?
I told you, the intruder.
He denies it, says there was no one there at the time.
Well, he would say that, wouldn't he?
Was the assault in any way connected to your refrigeration problems?
No.
I'll be right back.
Chaz Fredericks isn't the sort of bloke to get involved in a brawl.
Exactly. No, I reckon we should be looking closer to home. What about the nephew, Clayton? He reckons he's the sister's son.
Oh, there is a sister, Ruth. She went teaching down to Melbourne.
So she could be Clayton's mother.
She could be. I've never heard that she got married, but that doesn't stop anyone these days.
Your relationship to Chaz Fredericks?
It says it on the sign, nephew.
So you're the son of...
Chaz's sister. I told you that I met you.
Whose name is...
Ruth.
Middle name?
Margaret.
Almost right, Ruth. Marjorie.
What's this about?
Clayton, Chaz is helping us with our research, and I'm the quizmaster, and close to the parish he has all the correct answers.
Mum hates Marjorie, so she changed it to Margaret.
Okay. Now, when we met you before, you said you changed your name to Fredericks. So, what was it before?
Well, that was actually a bit of a porky. Well, Mum wasn't married when she had me, so, well, in a respectable business like undertaking, you know how it is.
And your mum's date of birth?
Easy, May 15.
Pathetic, March 8, Clayton. Not even the same star sign.
That's just it, isn't it? I mean, Mum hated being a Piscean. She wanted to be a Taurus like her best friend, so naturally when you ask for her date of birth,
all right,
I give you...
pockets. Empty your pockets.
Right.
Driver's licence and credit cards in the name of Clayton Sanders.
I meant to tell you about that. Sanders was the name my mum used when she had me so that she wouldn't be discriminated against as a...
Even start. Stand up. Against the wall. Empty your right pocket, thanks. Flick knife, isn't it?
It's for my protection.
Empty your other pocket. Gold fob watch.
Torries.
I can explain that.
Chaz, I spoke to your sister in Melbourne, and Clayton is no relation. Is that correct?
Correct.
We also ran Clayton's real name through the police database, and he has convictions for loitering for prostitution and shop stealing.
When did you meet him, Chaz?
About 3 months ago. I'm a homosexual.
There's no law against that.
Not now, there isn't. But for most of my life, there has been. You and you, Tom, have at some time in your careers arrested men like me for the crime of looking for love and comfort from other men.
Yeah, well, times have changed.
Oh, elsewhere, maybe. But I live in a small country town and I run a business that depends on referrals from churches, doctors, service groups, retirement villages. I've never felt I could come out.
Oh, some of the local residents have.
Very brave ones. A minority. Well, you'd be surprised at the names of those who haven't. There's a small social scene that I don't take part in, a bar in St David's that I never go.
So how did you meet Clayton?
Every few months I go on what I call my little excursions. I stay in a place in St Kilda. I meet people. A few months ago I met Clayton and fell in love.
Then, did you know that he was a professional?
What's that got to do with it?
So you asked him to come and join you here?
But learn the business. inherited after I'd gone. He laughed, said, "What, was I proposing marriage?" And I said, "Well, yes, I was. And the happiest day of my life." He agreed.
You still happy?
Till a fortnight ago. The refrigeration unit broke down, needed replacing it. Not a problem, $10,000, $15,000. Then a phone call from the bank. I was overdrawn.
He'd been siphoning.
Cheques missing from the back of the chequebook.
Credit cards?
Yeah, them too. I was paying him wages, you know, good wages. He had a future, a business of his own once I'd gone.
Right, so no refrigeration system, 2 bodies come in.
Well, Clayton said he'd fix it.
How?
Well, he took them somewhere. I thought he'd buried them.
And then you found out about the mine shaft.
Naturally, I remonstrated with him and, well, he threatened to out me to the town. And then this.
Well, we'll need to do a formal interview.
I still love him.
We brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of the world. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In your keeping are all those who have departed in Christ. We here commit the body of our dear brother Horace to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Glad you came. Bambi asked who the old bloke was. When I told her, she insisted. Couldn't let her come on her own now, could I?
The watch turned up.
Hey, Bambi. This was your granddad's. It'll be yours when you grow up.
I hope you're going to do the paperwork for that touching gesture. You are such a pushover.
Depends how you mean it.
Not a bad copper, is it?